But instead, I was socializing with my cohorts at the table, having a good time, and engaged in a conversation with the president of Kettle One. Now, he didn't tell me he was the president of Kettle One when we first started talking.
Right.
And I, not to rehash my original podcast, but what was great about it is we're drinking apple martinis, which is provided by Kettle One. Of course, Bill provided those. And it was a black tie event. So we're all in black tuxes.
Right.
Okay, so we all look the same.
Right.
And I'm talking with Bill for an hour there. And he says, Jim, I really like your style. And I look at him, I said, Bill, well, we're all drinking your martinis and we're all dressed in black. Of course you like my style. You're doing the same thing. But he offered me a job come Monday. And, I think being an optimist, always finding the opportunity in conversation with people or being open to that, right? I'm open to receive.
Well, yeah, you said yes and you showed up, right?
Oh, yes, I did.
And then you realized, right? I believe we had this conversation that there may have been a question about whether or not you were a good fit because of your education level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, that's a good memory. When I in the interview process, although I got there on Monday and Bill's like, "I'm glad you showed up. We'd like to offer you the job." I had to fill out the app and the resume, and, kind of in front of him, right? Because it was really a last minute deal. And he said, "Well, unfortunately, you don't have a college degree." I said, "That's true." And he said, "Well, one of our requirements here is that everybody has a college degree." I said, "Okay, well, Bill, what is it that you'd like to see from my degree that would make you happy to hire me?" And he goes, "Well, degree shows loyalty and that you can achieve something and, put time and effort into it." I said, "Well, I worked for In-N-Out Burger for 12 years. I was the highest selling manager in the company. I gave it all the loyalty I had and I was consistent. I spent 12 years there, which is 8 more than a college." He says, "Jim, I think you got a good point there."
Do you think they changed their hiring requirements since you left?
I don't think so, to be honest with you.
Really?
I don't think so. It was probably a light rule, but I think it's also important to understand that if you have achieved success or if you're capable of working hard, that there's always a place for you.
Well, obviously that is the case for being there. Kettle One is everywhere.
Yeah, worldwide.
Yeah. You were telling me that you actually got to do some golf experiences while you were at Kettle One.
Yeah, I spent time with some of the greatest golfers of all time, like Peter Jacobson and Arnold Palmer. Spent a lot of time with Arnold, Greg Norman, Scott McCarron, and the list kind of goes on from there. Spent the most time with those guys. That's why I bring it up. But, I've been very fortunate, very blessed to be around some of these superheroes in different sports like those guys.
Well, then you left. I think you get to the top of the mountain, right? We're going to talk about some other mountain things here in a bit, but you get to the top of the mountain, and then you're like, well, where's the next highest mountain I can go? Because the top of the mountain is only so high, right? So I don't know the order of operation, but you leave Kettle One, and you decide to start your own tequila company.
Yeah, well, and look, I think that sometimes the top of the mountain is a great place to be. It might have been a good place for me at Kettle One to stick around there, but they went through a sale. We sold to a company named Diageo, which is the largest conglomerate in the world for spirits. And I was offered a job to go work with them, but it's not where I wanted to be. I think the job was in New York or Florida, and I was a California boy. It probably paid pretty good too.
Probably.
But as fate would have it, I was, at this time in my life, I was also racing professionally off-road cars down in Mexico because I love Mexico so much. And I happened to be in a meeting talking about racing, and somebody asked me if I was interested in starting a tequila company or helping import tequila to the U.S. And the reason why they asked me is because I had my Kettle One card. And they figured, oh, you're in the alcohol business. You must know something about it. And I knew at the time that Kettle One was going through a transition in the sale. And so I said, yeah, I'll look into it. And I tried the tequila that was coming out of this distillery, which, by the way, is the same one that Sammy Hagar was using for Cabo Wabo. He had sold to Campari, and this distillery was basically sitting dormant. And I tried the tequila. It was phenomenal. And I thought, you know what? I can do something with this. I've been in this business long enough. I'm going to.
You had all the connections already and everything like that. I want to know more about that, how that progressed. But at what time did you start racing? I mean, during what time? During this transition, I know. It was in kind of past history with your pop and stuff. Like he was into that, right?
Yeah, I started racing probably about a year and a half before I left Kettle One. It was one of those things, right place, right time again. I saw this movie called Dust to Glory, and it looked like something I wanted to go do. My dad had been at the Baja 1000 in 1971. He was a sheriff's officer, and him and a bunch of sheriffs went down and what they call pre-run the course. You can drive the course before the race. He went down there to be at the finish line when they finished the race. And let me tell you, 1971, that was a lot of hard dirt roads, and vehicles weren't that great. I just remember seeing the pictures from then, and always wanted to go do that. So when I saw this movie, I thought, I want to do that. And through Kettle One, randomly, this is probably one of the most random things that happened to me.
I don't think there's many random things.
The owner of Kettle One, Carl Millette, happened to be a member of the Bay Club, and he says, hey, I met this guy who owns this professional race team. I want you to take him some Kettle One. Well, happened to be one of the teams that I saw in the video, and I said, hey, man, I saw this movie. How do I get involved? And Cameron Still is his name. He says, Jim, it's Baja. Everybody's welcome. Why don't you come down and enjoy some time with us? And I did. I jumped right on his team. I did marketing for him, and I became his navigator in the race truck for 2 years, professional team, and had done well with him, and wound up starting my own team. So to divert back, that's how I started racing. So probably a year and a half before I started my tequila company.
So your own race team for how long?
12 years.
Then you just sold that race.
Yeah, just finished. Just wrapped that up.
That's unbelievable how you get into that and everything like that. And then you become a driver.
Yeah.
You just said I wanted to drive, so you just put the pedal to the metal or
no, and I want to be really clear about that for any of my race fans that are listening or people that aspire to go racing. I spent 2 years in the passenger seat with Cameron, and Cameron had been racing his whole life.
Yeah.
Okay? He had done a lot of hours in that car, a lot of hours behind him. I spent 2 years in the passenger seat learning what those vehicles are capable of. I mean, you're talking about a 600 to 900 horsepower vehicle in the dirt. Basically, it's a NASCAR in the dirt, which is like being shot out of that cannon, okay?
Yeah, right.
You don't just go drive that thing.
In the passenger seat, too, you got no controls. You didn't have any, I don't know how those cars are set up. You got no controls, no steering wheel, anything like that.
Nope. Yeah, I give them GPS coordinates, how fast, how hard the turn is, and I look at all the gauges and make sure everything's good, and if we break, I get out and help them fix it. So
you ever get sick?
I've been sick before. I raced with a friend back in the day in a buggy. He needed I was already a pro driver. He needed a passenger to help him win the championship in this buggy, and I said yes. I don't know why, because I'm not a buggy guy. I'm not a passenger anymore either.
We said yes because the answer is yes.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake that time. But I wound up throwing up in that car for 4 hours straight because I was dizzy. Vertigo.
Yeah.
It was foggy out. We're going fast. It was dusty. We wound up getting, I think we got third or fourth place. It just was a tough day.
Sounded brutal.
It was brutal.
Okay, so Azuñia. You started Azuñia Tequila Company, right?
Yep.
Did you end up moving down there to run the operation, or did you do it from afar and have employ other people that were down there?
Yeah, you know what I did, just to take a step back, and this is something that I coach all my business clients on. If you're looking to start a business, write a business plan. I started writing a business plan.
It's like deja vu. You told me that yesterday.
Yes, I did. I started writing my business plan at night after my hours put in at Kettle One, and wrote this business plan and went out and raised some money with that business plan. Thank you, Peter Jacobson, for saying yes to me as the first person. And so we had a business plan, we had some money. Then I went down to Mexico. I didn't move down there, but I spent a lot of time getting to know the family, formulating what the tequila was going to be, our marketing, etc., the team. And ultimately, I wound up hiring a liaison that would both work in Mexico and in the U.S. So a little bit of both.
All right. And then you sold
it. Well, it wasn't that simple. I mean, look, you're going to start a business in any industry. It's going to be, you got to put in the hours. You got to put in the hard work.
I'm sure you did. How many different states is Azuñia Tequila in right now?
Azuñia was in 43 when I left, and doing quite well in states like California, Florida, Texas, Colorado. I put a lot of hours in.
Yes, you did.
7 days a week, 12 hours a day, and you live and breathe that thing. It was my brand. I came up with the name. I came up with the original marketing, and we got after it. And I think the real message within that too for people is, they talk about an overnight success that took 10 years. It's kind of one of those. It took a long time, a lot of hard work. So specifically, I didn't sell it myself. I stepped away in 2017 as the CEO, and got a nice farewell gift from the investors and the team, and I knew it was in good hands. Although I left my ownership there, so I didn't have to take that with me, and that wasn't part of the deal. So they sold the company a few months ago.
Okay.
I sold it to Eastside Distilling, which we wish them the best with the brand. Got a lot of equity in that now, so maybe we'll have a cash out opportunity down the road. So we'll see what happens.
But how cool is that, right? To say that, hey, I created that. If that's the wrong term, I apologize. But it sounds like you created that brand, you marketed it, you sold it. It's in 43 states, maybe more now. And top of the mountain, boom, here you go again.
Yeah.
You're seeking the next mountain. At what time? Hold on one second. I know you want to say something, but I got an agenda.
I see that
time. So Baja United Group.
Yeah.
When did that start? Relatively close to after you sold Azuñia or no?
Well, my wife will tell everybody. Jim retired from Azuñia, and within 5 days he's down in Baja starting another business. That literally is what happened. Let's say my last day was on Friday at Azuñia. On Tuesday the following week, I was down in Baja to celebrate.
Yeah.
With some friends looking at the wine region down there, and the guy I was with said, "Hey, you know how to import? You're not doing anything anymore. You want to import some wine up?" I said, "Yeah, if we donate back to the orphanages some of the money we make." And it was just going to be a bootstrap hobby, which immediately turned into a full-fledged business because of Young's Market Company, which is our distributor in California. They put in the first purchase order for $50,000, and I had no idea it was going to be that big.
It's a good way to start.
That's a big first order, by the way. So, no, we're excited about it. We're doing that now. We've got great people helping us. We've got a lot of great investors in the brand, a lot of which listen to the show, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
The website, BajaUnitedGroup.com, right?
Yep.
Is that what it is?
BajaUnitedGroup.com. We've got Baja United Wines, if you're going to go buy the wines. And then we have Baja Unidos Cerveza. Got a little pitch on the beer that we've got out there.
Right.
So we've got Mexican beers and wine.
So now those are importing in, you said, down south.
Yeah,
Southern California.
Mainly California. Yep. But now that I'm in Montana, we've got a notion to bring that wine and beer up here.
Yeah, and why not go for another 43 states?
Why not?
Right? Okay, so during this time, that was in 2017.
Yeah.
5 days later.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Spartan races, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the most intriguing things. I never even heard of a Spartan race. And, when you guys moved in, I wasn't here. I was back working in California. Actually, I was gone for like 2 months just because of money and busyness and everything like that. And my wife tells me, "Oh yeah, hey, the neighbors are moved in. They're great. This and that and blah blah blah. They're Spartan racers and that stuff." Right? I wrote it down, Spartan racing. I never heard of it, so I looked it up online. And why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I'll tell you, of all the things I feel like I've done in my life, both professionally and as a hobby, I've done some cool shit too, by the way. Climbed Mount Rainier several years ago, which is a glacier, pretty neat thing to do, and Whitney, and I don't know, just lots of random stuff. Spartan racing I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm addicted. I'm all in. I've got a family of friends there now. I've had some of them on the show, and it is just a great sport and community to go out there and really, and it's for anybody. You don't have to be a pro or a competitive racer. You can just be an open racer is what they call it, and go out there and have a good time with your spouse or your friends. But I'm all in on it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't see you. How long did you last in just going and doing the opens before you started competing?
Well, I think I did, I don't know, maybe 3 with my wife. Then we did a race down in Camp Pendleton. They have their mud run. My wife got first and I got third. And I said, "Honey, maybe we should take this a little bit more seriously. We're getting good at this." A testament to our trainer, Jordan, down there at Heart Fit in Glendora. Just an amazing person. Took an interest in us. It was actually his idea that we race Spartan in the first place. So we were going to do something together because I wanted to do a marathon. He said, "Why don't you guys go do a Spartan race?" So yeah, it was probably 3 or 4 races in that I decided I need to step up and be a competitor. you know,
because you just weren't doing enough. You weren't busy enough.